up to the competitive level. This is a flat .1 and it's very specific. The gymnast has to do one tumbling pass with a D salto or better, and an acro dismount skill with a C in the bonus and a bonus combination, or a minimum of a D skill, which means this, under special requirements, a front lay would satisfy the special requirements for the dismount, but for choice it would not. So she maybe have a 10-0, but if that was a decision that the gymnast had made, she would lose 1/10 here for not being up to the competitive level. Yeah, well, we have the examples here. Did I mention that one? As I was going through. This, again, is not an inclusive list, but double bent pike, back 1.5, front lay, that gives you the CV, handspring, front Rudy, 1.5, so that would be good. She's got the D, she's got the combination at the end. Whip back, double tuck, AD, then she does, she's got the first one. Now we have to go through the dismount of a handspring, front lay, full, C, round off, flip flop, double tuck, D at the end, she's fine. Full in, she's short, see, so it's down here like this. She forgot to grow.
I'm trying to stay on.
I know, that's good. Everything I know I learned from her. Full in, E, then handspring, front lay, B to B, then she does round off, flip flop, double tuck, D, fine. As far as the choice here. Double tuck, D, handspring Rudy, C layout, step out, CA, combination, fine.
Okay, where's the next slide?
Please?
You're going to have to be next one.
I'm going to be nice. This is the only skill that is different from JO, and I applaud this change. And I'm sure every one of us has been in a position, because many times the gymnasts take off and they're piped, but they tuck early and say, did you give it a pipe, did you give it this? And it makes a big difference, particularly if it's in a combination, because now it can be a 2/10 versus a 1/10, and it's a B, therefore the level of variety changes. So I think this is it's just a great change, and I like it. We talked about prone landings on dance skills. You can't have more than one. You can't have more than one for acro. Excuse me. Otherwise, each one's 1/10. So for clarity, you can have a minimum of 2 as long as one's from acro, one's from dance, but any more than that, you know you're going to have a deduction. It's not 2 max. Okay, these are the areas that we can make a difference. And it was interesting, because I hear people say, oh, they changed the distribution to 0.05. Golly, that's really bad. And it's only a 0.05 from the rules from last year, when really all of these areas are where we should be making the difference. We should be looking at, and this is what we're going to try to stress today, is to give you the tools to help make more of a difference. And when Carol started, she said, open your mind, because you may have to change the way you have looked at things. And so that's kind of where we're going to be today with this. Execution of skills. We're going to look at acro, and I'm going to turn it over real quickly to Steve here, because we're going to start with execution of acro. We're going to look at amplitude, because I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, but I think that many of us tend to see something here, and so pretty soon this becomes okay. And so we don't deduct for it anymore. When we really should be, then all of a sudden you see the one that explodes and you go, oh dear, I should have been taking on all these others, because now I can't do anything to reward this one. And that's going to be the same thing is true of the dance skills. And I'm going to spend some time on those with Valerie, and that is the wolf bulls, the splits that aren't quite there, and we pretty soon say, no, it's okay. Now, what did you take? I took a 1/4 10. Okay, but if you make a difference, and then you see the one that is really up there and takes off, well, you can't anatomically take off straight and skin, you've got to have some movement, but takes off as a unit, shows it to you, finishes here, exactly at 360, takes off, hits that beautiful wolf position, finishes here, and you say, oh, that other one I should have taken more than a half a tenth, because I can't reward this one. It can be done well, and we have a couple pretty good ones. We have a lot of those. The other two areas are going to be artistry, and I'm going to, I guess sometimes clinicians bare their soul. I keep saying to people, but the college gymnasts are more mature, they're more mature, and they look more elegant. That doesn't mean they all do. We tend, I'm going to say we collectively, hoping you'll go, tend not to take artistry because they are more mature than our JOs that we just judged last week. But you're going to see today, and Valerie, if you aren't aware of it, UCLA does beautiful choreography. And so she's going to give you some tidbits there to help you, rules again, or tools again that you can use. So I'm going to turn it over to Steve. He's going to do some acro, and I'll be back. Oh, he's not going to do it?
He's not going to do it?
Yeah, the only problem about being the clinician Saturday, Sunday morning is we had to all make sure that we were in bed early last night.
I was crying because Penn State lost.
I know.
Oh, that poor one. That's the Ohio
You were thinking about it.
Yeah, Ohio State.
My hands were falling. Yeah, we were all saying because Valerie and UCLA, they lost yesterday. Penn State lost. We're going to have a pretty nasty group up here.
For the interaction between the coaching community and the judges community. I think it's something that is very significant. I've been in gymnastics since 1968, and this is the first time that I've ever been asked to speak to judges from a coach's community. And I think that's unprecedented in my life, in my career as a gymnastics person. And so I wanted to thank the NAWGJ, Mike Lorenzen, and the coaching community for putting this together so that we can have a dialogue, because I think it's really important that we all work together to make our sport a better sport. And that's why I wanted to start with this. Why are we here? I think, obviously, education. The coaching community needs to learn from the judging community, but I think the judges can learn from the coaches as well. I think a lot of times we're in the gym every day trying to teach these kids the things that you want us to get them to do. And sometimes it can be very frustrating to try to get a kid to do certain things the way the judges want to see it. And so I think education works both ways, from the coaches to the judging community, and from the judging community back to the coaches community. And I know that some of you are coaches as well. So I think that's very good. That's a very big positive. Standardization. We talked about this a little bit yesterday in terms of creating a situation where a 9-5 is a 9-5, whether you're in Salt Lake City, Rhode Island, or wherever you may be, that it's standardized. The deductions are the same. The judging panel, no matter who you have on the judging panel, you're going to get the same deduction if you do it that specific way, no matter where you go. And I think this symposium is a big step in the right direction to create a situation where we're all on the same page. Increasing the integrity of our sport. I work with the athletic administration. My AD is not a gymnastics person. She was a field hockey coach. She doesn't really get it.